morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today in our usual meditation morning challenge, is it? I don't know, commitment, journey, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, gosh, I'm really out of breath. I've only walked from the kitchen to here and set up, so I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, I can't breathe. So, I hope that you're well. I hope that you have had a good sleep. This morning I wanted to take you through a wonderful guided meditation just to help you feel calm. Meditation is a wonderful tool in which we can all use to try and help us find a little bit of calm during our days, even just by taking a few deeper, longer, slower breaths. It can help us to change our states of mind. Now, for some of us, we spend a lot of time in our thinking minds, so we call it, and our thinking minds sometimes aren't a very nice place to be. Our thoughts create feelings in the body, and those thoughts can create very anxious feelings, which often for a lot of people is really quite distressing. So yeah, I mean, have a think about it now, this powerful connection between the mind and the body. It's okay if you can't, but bring to mind something that makes you feel really anxious. I mean, let's just throw an example to you now. So imagine that you have to deliver a speech, okay, for 1,000 people, and you are stood at the front of a huge hall, and you're there with your speech, and there's 1,000 people watching you, right? Really kind of try and imagine that now you stood there reading this speech. You've got all these people looking at you, all eyes on you, everybody wondering what you're going to say, maybe, having a look at what you're wearing, all these different thoughts, and you've just got all these people staring at you. So imagine that now. Just really kind of put yourself in a situation of delivering a speech to 1,000 people. What's happening in your body as you imagine that? Even now, as I'm explaining that, I have a tightness in my chest, I have tightness in my tummy, because our thoughts create physical feelings in the body, physical sensations. And when we learn to understand that, just by what we think can create a feeling in the body, it can be freeing in a way, because we can recognize that if we are thinking if we are thinking thoughts that are making us feel anxious, we can recognize that those are just actually thoughts. And mindfulness teaches us just to be with what's actually there in that moment. So if I did have to deliver a speech to 1,000 people, I think I've actually done that before, not to 1,000. I don't know how many, it was a lot of people in a huge hall. And instead of my mind creating stories of what are these people going to think of me, will I get it right, will I mess my words up, did I put the right top on, do I look professional enough, all these different thoughts that would come in, because I can be extremely self-critical. Instead, in that situation, mindfulness teaches us to just be with what's present in the body. So for me in that situation, it would be, okay, I'm feeling anxious. So where can I feel this anxiety? I can feel it in my chest, I can feel it in my belly, I can feel it in my arms, my legs feel shaky. So I'm going to be with that with some kindness. I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm going to notice that it's there, and I'm going to take some deeper breaths. And just by making that change, not allowing myself to run along in my commentary in my mind, getting caught up in this train of thoughts that we so often talk about in the mindfulness world, I'm much more able just to be with my physical sensations. And just by doing that, that lessens the anxiety, and it allows me just to be with whatever's there with kindness, with compassion, understanding that it will pass. So thoughts create feelings, and feelings create more thoughts. So please know that, if you are somebody who struggles with anxiety, just by practicing mindfulness, it can be a huge benefit. So today's meditation practice then is all around a meditation to help you feel calm. We are going to be using some silence and just noticing what's here today. So I want to invite you to get into a comfortable position. And you can sit however you like today. You can choose to close your eyes or lower your gaze. And acknowledging now together that we are going to do this short meditation practice this morning, just for a short amount of time. Together as we rest here, breathing, relaxing. Coming into stillness together. Now in meditation practice you can move the body, but if you're comfortable then there's no need to move the body. So maybe if you're able just to stay still physically, notice what that's like this morning. What's it like to be still? What's it like to notice that? If you stop breathing properly now, you're zooming in on this stillness. And that's what I can do sometimes, is when I focus on something so hard, my breath seems to stop. I have to remind myself to breathe deeply and calmly. So just noticing that stillness in your physical body. Becoming aware also of all the sounds that you can hear, all the sounds all around you, the sounds of the traffic, the sounds of the birds, sounds of silence if there's no sounds. Sometimes just listening to silence almost feels like you're listening to a sound, doesn't it? Really allowing your body to relax and rest, settling into this moment as we rest here together. Releasing any areas of tension or tightness. Paying particular attention to the shoulders and the forehead and the jaw. Noticing how the body moves with the breath. Noticing that breath now as it moves through your body. That wonderful breath bringing oxygen in, nourishing the whole of your body today. Noticing how the body swells with the in-breath, expanding as you take in that clean air, and subsiding as you release the breath. So the mind will drift around if this is happening. Bring your awareness back to the breath, home to the body. Remember, we're not trying to clear our mind out. We're not trying to clear the mind of thoughts. We'll never do that entirely. Thoughts are like clouds. I was watching the sky yesterday just for around about 3 or 4 minutes, watching those clouds pass, and it was a wonderful reminder how our minds present themselves when we do sit in a meditation, because our thoughts are ever changing, ever moving, never fixed. So your thoughts will come in and they will go and they'll change. And I guess the idea of mindfulness is just to notice and to pay attention of our minds and our thoughts and what's actually happening. All the while coming back to the breath, coming back to the body with kindness. And this constant returning back over and over again is strengthening the area in your mind which allows you to be more present as you move throughout your life, in your days, in your moments. It can be similar to a muscle. When we exercise a muscle, it gets stronger and stronger. And this is what we do in meditation practice. We strengthen that ability to notice, to be here, instead of in this imagined future which we all create. We get to instead experience our world, our life, exactly as it is. And that includes all those moments that we don't want to be with. We have to be with those moments in order to be with those good moments, those wonderful moments in our lives that we are so honored to experience. So meditation allows us to experience it. Mindfulness teaches us to acknowledge and indulge in all of it, and to be with whatever's there with kindness. So noticing it all now, noticing sound, noticing the breath, noticing movement in the body. And so bringing this practice to a close this morning, in your own time, gently opening the eyes if they've been closed and taking a stretch. If you need to move the body in any way, that was a wonderful practice this morning. Yeah, I could have sat here for much longer. I've got a busy morning this morning, so that was very much welcomed. So I hope that you found that meditation well this morning. Remember, we do this every day, 8 o'clock, sometimes a little bit over, depending on what my toddler's up to. So yeah, 8 o'clock every morning. And you know, it's a commitment, it's definitely a commitment, but you can catch up. If you can't make 8 o'clock, then you can catch up with these practices, because they are obviously available on Facebook, they're available on our YouTube channel. So, you know, if you can't do it, then maybe make a commitment later in the day to engage in it. Because meditation will absolutely help you. It will help you to feel better, feel happier, feel much calmer, sleep better, engage more with your family, to be better at work. There's a whole range of benefits, and it's so important to do this, because things like stress, I don't know if you're aware, but stress can lead to terrible chronic conditions in the body. You know, it can lead to high blood pressure, it can lead to high cholesterol, it can lead to cancers. Stress can also play an impact if you struggle with pain, because the more stressed you are, and there's been a lot of research around stress actually making pain a lot worse, anxiety, because often we hold tension. And there's obviously much more involved in that, but yeah, so do please know that this is 100% for you. It's a commitment for yourself, and if you want to feel happier and feel more refreshed and just feel better than you do now, then maybe just give this a try. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you all tomorrow morning. Have a wonderful day, and make it count. You know, today, as cheesy as it sounds, may absolutely be your last, as negative as that sounds, but it's true. We never know how much time we've got left, so make it count. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.